Many people today live under invisible chains, chains of poverty that choke their joy, chains of delay that steal time, chains of relentless attack from witches, curses, and unseen monitoring spirits. They wake up every morning with heavy hearts, wondering why money slips through their fingers, why good opportunities vanish at the last second, why peace seems to flee from their homes. Yet the key to breaking these invisible shackles has always been within reach. It is simple, humble, and hides in plain sight in nearly every kitchen. Salt. To most, it is only a seasoning for food, but in the language of the Spirit it is far more. It is a divine element placed by God as a sign of covenant, preservation, and power. When combined with prayer, intention, and revelation, salt transforms into a shield against witchcraft, a consuming fire against monitoring spirits, and a magnet for prosperity. It is a prophetic act whose voice in the spiritual realm is louder than many know. For ages, the wise have understood that physical acts carry spiritual weight. Ancient Eastern teachers spoke of energy conduits and sacred elements that anchor the invisible in the visible. Salt embodies this principle. When you place it with intention in specific areas of your home, you are not practicing superstition, you are aligning with a spiritual law. Salt sends a message to demons that their time is over, to witches that their access has been cut off, and to heaven that you are ready for abundance to flow. In vibrational science, salt absorbs and neutralizes dense energy, transmuting heaviness into clarity. What you do before you sleep determines what spirits move around your life overnight. This is why this secret carries such power. For centuries, witches and dark practitioners have used ordinary household items to curse, delay, and monitor others. They understand the link between the physical and the spiritual. But God has always provided countermeasures for His people. Salt is one of those mighty tools. Sprinkled or placed with prayer, it becomes an invisible fence, a bright frequency that blinds hostile eyes and seals your destiny under divine prosperity. Imagine going to bed weighed down by fear and financial struggle but waking up with peace, clarity, and open doors. This is not just imagination. This is what happens when salt is used prophetically with faith. In the unseen realm, barriers collapse and evil monitoring is silenced. Tonight, you will learn where to put salt in your home, for hidden places that carry deep spiritual meaning. When you do this before you sleep, you will protect your life from witchcraft, silence negative energies, and unlock streams of blessing that have been delayed. Do not take this lightly. Testimonies from those who acted on this are countless. By morning, you will see that God still moves through simple, powerful instructions. The first place you must place salt is at the entrance of your home, the threshold where the physical and the spiritual intersect. Your doorway is not just wood and metal, it is the gate of your life. Every blessing that comes to you and every curse that seeks entry must pass through this gate. Many do not realize that most of their battles begin right there. Witches, jealous souls, and monitoring spirits often linger at thresholds, standing unseen, blocking divine flow, turning away every good thing meant for you. But when you place salt at the entrance, you are making a declaration in the invisible: no curse shall cross this threshold, no poverty shall enter, no evil shall remain. Salt at the door acts as both guardian and covenant. Every time you step through, you are reaffirming divine preservation. You are walking under a spiritual contract that says, "My home is sealed. My peace cannot be stolen. My prosperity is protected." In the old Hebrew and Eastern traditions, the gate of a home was considered a sacred altar, the place where intentions enter and energies are filtered. To place salt there is to anoint that altar with purity. The moment salt touches the threshold, it emits a frequency of light that demons cannot endure. Think of salt as a spiritual firewall. Witches may project spells, words of envy, or invisible arrows toward your door. But when the salt is there, those arrows lose their target. Opportunities that once turned back now find their way to you, for the spiritual blockade has been dissolved. Many who once suffered constant delays and missed chances began to see change after sealing their entrances with salt. Some said they stopped seeing shadows by their doors. Others shared that the strange sense of heaviness near the entrance simply vanished overnight. Why? Because salt declared, "This door belongs to God." The doorway is also the place of agreement. Whatever you allow to stand there, you silently agree with. If poverty camps at your gate, you are in agreement with lack. But when you put salt there, you rewrite the contract. You align with abundance, with divine guardianship, with peace. From that moment, only those carrying blessing can enter, and anyone who departs must carry blessing with them. So tonight, before you sleep, take a small pinch of salt and place it discreetly at your doorway. As you do, speak with conviction, "My door is sealed by divine power. No witch, no curse, no spirit of poverty shall cross this line. Only peace and prosperity are permitted to enter." As those words leave your lips, light begins to move through your home. You will feel it, the shift in the atmosphere, the subtle release of tension, the sense that something ancient and protective has awakened. This simple act, done with awareness and faith, creates a shield that human eyes cannot see but every spirit recognizes. And by morning, you will know that the unseen world has heard you. Your home will no longer be a gateway of attack but a temple of peace and provision. The second place where salt must be placed is in your bedroom, the silent chamber of dreams, the altar of your night. While the body sleeps, the spirit remains awake, wandering the unseen dimensions, receiving messages, encountering energies, and fighting unseen battles. Witches know this truth well. That is why many attacks come through sleep, nightmares, sleep paralysis, and unexplainable fear at midnight. They try to enter through dreams, because in that space the conscious mind is quiet and defenses are low. But when salt is placed in your bedroom, it becomes a declaration that this ground is sacred, that your rest is under divine watch, and that no shadow has permission to linger. Salt in the bedroom is not mere ritual, it is energetic alignment. In vibration science, salt purifies electromagnetic frequencies, balancing the field where the body regenerates. Spiritually, it absorbs negativity, neutralizes psychic residue, and anchors the presence of divine light. When you place it near your bed or in a corner of the room, you are essentially creating a zone of peace, a barrier through which no monitoring spirit can pass. Every witch's gaze, every evil intent sent toward you in the night is blinded by that field of light. Financial breakthroughs often begin in the night realm, through dreams, revelations, and divine instructions whispered to the soul. But when your spiritual atmosphere is polluted, those messages are stolen before dawn. That's why so many wake up exhausted, confused, and directionless. They were robbed in their sleep, robbed of energy, robbed of clarity, robbed of ideas. But when salt is present, the robbery ends. Your room becomes a sanctuary where angels dwell, where divine communication is restored, where dreams return as maps toward prosperity. There are people who dream of losing wallets, of strangers taking their money, of eating strange food, of endless chases. These are not random. They are symbolic transactions designed to drain your wealth and delay your destiny. But when salt guards your bedroom, those spiritual contracts dissolve. The moment you sprinkle salt there with awareness and intention, you declare, "My wealth is untouchable. My dreams are pure. My sleep is holy." Salt in your bedroom also restores harmony between the mind and the spirit. You begin to wake up light, inspired, and full of purpose. No longer tired, no longer fearful, no longer heavy. Many who tried this spoke of an immediate shift. Nightmares stopped, strange noises vanished, and a deep calm filled the air. The same energy that purifies oceans and preserves life now preserves your peace. So tonight, before you close your eyes, take a pinch of salt and place it quietly in one corner of your bedroom. Speak these words. This is holy ground. No witchcraft, no fear, no curse shall cross this line. My sleep shall give birth to prosperity, my dreams shall reveal divine secrets, and my rest shall be covered in light. Then breathe deeply. Let your spirit rest knowing angels now stand where shadows once lingered. And by morning, peace will meet you before you even open your eyes. The third place where you must place salt is at the windows and corners of your home, the silent openings through which energies travel unnoticed. In the physical world, they are points of air and light; in the spiritual, they are portals. Witches and monitoring spirits often exploit these unseen gateways. When they cannot pass through the front door, they creep in through the corners, subtle, quiet, undetected. Have you ever felt a strange heaviness in a certain part of your home, or a sudden chill that seems to whisper unease? That is not random. It is energy residue, the trace of an unclean presence. And this is where salt becomes light. When salt touches the windows and corners, it declares, "This home has no shadowed corners. No uninvited spirit may hide here." Salt's crystalline nature radiates purity; it vibrates at a frequency that disrupts dark or stagnant energy. It becomes a beacon of divine presence, transforming any atmosphere of oppression into one of peace. In ancient Eastern temples, priests scattered salt along thresholds and window edges to block the hidden winds, unseen currents of energy that carried misfortune. The same principle lives today. The unseen responds to physical symbols when done with awareness. Spiritually, windows represent vision, the ability to see, to discern, to perceive divine timing and opportunity. When a person's spiritual windows are blocked, they lose the ability to notice the blessings that God sends. By putting salt there, you are clearing the lenses of your destiny. You are proclaiming that your eyes will see open doors, that your perception will not be clouded, and that your path will remain illuminated. In vibration work, this is called clearing the field of interference. When the interference ends, clarity and abundance return. Salt in the corners, on the other hand, acts as a seal. Corners are meeting points of energies, the places where old frequencies can settle like dust. Demonic presence thrives in stagnation, in forgotten spaces where no prayer, no joy, and no light is felt. But salt introduces motion; it purifies, renews, reclaims. Every grain is like a spark, and when you place it intentionally, those sparks ignite spiritual light. Many people who struggled with sudden financial loss, strange odors, or tension in their homes discovered transformation after cleansing their corners with salt. The atmosphere shifted. Peace replaced heaviness. Business flow and creativity returned as if something invisible had been removed. As you prepare your home tonight, move quietly from window to window, corner to corner. Hold the salt in your hand and whisper. Every hidden place in this house is now filled with divine light. No spirit of poverty may linger. No watcher may hide. No arrow of witchcraft shall pass through these openings. Sprinkle a pinch in each spot, not as superstition but as declaration, as an act of energy mastery, aligning your space with the vibration of divine order. Afterward, close your eyes for a moment and sense the difference. The stillness becomes gentle, the air feels alive, and you know that your home is now surrounded by a luminous shield. With every corner sealed, the very atmosphere of your dwelling begins to echo with peace, abundance, and protection. The fourth place to put salt, and perhaps the most vital, is in your kitchen, the very heart and pulse of your home. The kitchen is more than a place of nourishment; it is the altar of provision, the center of energy flow that sustains every other room. Spiritually, it symbolizes supply, abundance, and multiplication. That is precisely why witches, spirits of lack, and devouring energies often target this space. If they can corrupt your source of nourishment, they can drain your wealth. They can make food spoil faster, cause endless bills, and turn the home into a vortex of lack. But once salt is present in your kitchen, those influences are expelled. The vibration of lack cannot survive where purity reigns. In ancient times, salt was the currency of the sacred. Warriors carried it as a sign of covenant. Priests used it to preserve offerings before the divine. In the kitchen, it acts in the same way, a covenant of provision. When you place salt there with awareness, you are telling the unseen world that your storehouse shall not run dry. Your pots will always contain sustenance. Your table will never lack. Your food will become not only nourishment for the body but medicine for the soul. The simple act of salt placement becomes a sacred invocation: my resources are blessed, my provision is sealed, my prosperity multiplies. Salt also purifies the energy of food. Witchcraft often hides in meals, through envy, through spiritual contamination, through negative energy attached to what you consume. But when the salt of covenant guards your kitchen, every meal becomes holy ground. It cleanses not only ingredients but intention. It shifts the vibration from survival to gratitude, from anxiety to abundance. You begin to notice that cooking feels lighter, your appetite steadier, and even the atmosphere of family meals transforms. Quarrels fade, laughter returns, and warmth fills the air. Financially, this act creates a profound metaphysical shift. Money mirrors energy. When provision energy flows freely in the kitchen, it flows freely in life. When that channel is blocked, expenses multiply, peace disappears, and you feel drained no matter how much you earn. But salt breaks that stagnation. It resets the field of prosperity. Many testimonies reveal that after sanctifying their kitchens with salt, sudden blessings appeared, jobs reopened, debts were cancelled, and food seemed to last longer than before. It is not magic, it is alignment. So tonight, once you have sealed your doorway, your bedroom, and your windows, step into your kitchen quietly. Feel gratitude. Hold the salt and speak with authority. This is my altar of provision. My cupboards shall not be empty. My table shall overflow. Every curse of lack and every devourer spirit is expelled. My resources multiply under divine grace. Then place the salt in a discreet corner, perhaps near the stove or pantry, and sense how the energy changes. The heaviness dissolves. The air feels calm, rich, abundant. By morning, you will not only notice peace in your household atmosphere but also flow in your finances. Bills will ease. New opportunities will come. Because salt, when charged with faith and awareness, awakens the vibration of divine plenty. Now that you have sealed your home in 4 sacred places, the doorway, the bedroom, the windows and corners, and the kitchen, it is time to activate the covenant through prayer and declaration. Remember, salt by itself is a symbol. But when it is mixed with faith, breath, and word, it becomes power in motion. Every prophetic act needs a voice to give it life. Your words are keys that unlock divine movement in the unseen realm. So tonight, hold the salt in your hands. Feel its cool texture between your fingers. Let your mind grow still and your heart align with gratitude. See the salt not as an ordinary mineral but as a divine conductor, a bridge between your physical world and the spiritual current of abundance. Then, standing at your entrance, speak boldly. No curse, no witchcraft, no delay shall cross this threshold. From this night forward, only blessings, peace, and prosperity are allowed to enter my home. As you sprinkle the salt, imagine beams of light rising like a golden fence at your doorway, invisible to eyes, but blazing in the spirit realm. That moment, your gate becomes sealed, your home shifts from ordinary space to sacred territory. Next, walk gently to your bedroom. Place the salt where your rest begins, in a corner or beside the bed. Declare. My sleep is an altar of divine revelation. No nightmare, no dark energy, no spirit of fear has permission to enter. My dreams birth wisdom, my rest restores prosperity, and angels stand guard through the night. With every word, you are reprogramming your space with frequency, transforming it from a site of anxiety to a chamber of divine renewal. Then move to your windows and corners. As you scatter salt, whisper. Every opening is sealed by light. No watcher may see me. No curse may enter. My finances are hidden in divine protection, my opportunities remain clear, my destiny untouchable. In that instant, unseen watchers lose their sight, every demonic eye that once observed your movement goes blind. The atmosphere becomes light, steady, still. Finally, enter your kitchen, your place of provision. Place salt in a hidden corner, near the food or water, and proclaim, "This is my storehouse, and it will never be empty. Every meal I prepare carries blessing. Every resource multiplies. My table is a temple of abundance and peace." As you speak, you are releasing the highest vibration of gratitude and plenty, the same frequency through which miracles manifest. Once you have completed the act, lift both hands toward heaven and give thanks. Lord of light, I seal my home in your protection. Poverty is gone, witchcraft is silenced, and my prosperity flows unhindered. Let this covenant of salt speak on my behalf in the realms unseen. Let every corner of my home echo with divine abundance. Pause. Feel the stillness settle like warm light over you. That silence is the sound of alignment, your home resonating with heavenly order. From that moment, angels take over, enforcing what your words have declared. Now that your home has been sealed and your declaration spoken, you have entered a spiritual covenant that operates beyond the limits of logic. Salt, in its quiet humility, now stands as your invisible messenger, a voice in the unseen that never sleeps. Every grain continues to whisper protection through the night, echoing your words into the spiritual atmosphere. What you have done is not superstition, it is prophetic obedience. You have taken action in the physical realm to send ripples through the invisible, aligning your environment with divine law. Understand this, God moves through symbols because symbols speak directly to energy. Just as a door represents access, and a bed represents rest, so does salt represent preservation and covenant. When you act upon divine instruction, you give heaven permission to intervene. That is why results manifest quickly, because faith is vibration, and vibration creates movement. The salt you place now radiates a field that cannot be crossed by darkness. Poverty will try to find its way back, but the resonance of your faith will repel it. Witchcraft will attempt to monitor again, but the eyes of those spirits will remain blinded. As you go to sleep tonight, do not entertain fear. You are no longer at the mercy of what used to oppress you. The salt has spoken, and angels have heard. In the silence of the night, forces shift. You may feel a subtle calm sweep through the air, as though your walls breathe differently. That is divine alignment, your home harmonizing with heavenly frequency. By morning, signs will follow. You may wake up lighter, as if a burden has been lifted. You might notice sudden peace in your household, unexpected calls with good news, or the release of long-stuck finances. These are not coincidences, they are spiritual confirmations that your declaration has taken root. Every act of obedience creates a chain reaction in the universe, a domino of light displacing darkness. And yet, remember, this is not a one-time performance, but a relationship with divine principle. Continue to keep your home pure in intention. Speak gratitude when you see your salt. Renew the energy with prayer or praise each week. Let your words remain consistent with prosperity and peace. Do not undo what you have built through fear, anger, or doubt. Where faith resides, abundance flows. If at any moment you sense heaviness returning, confusion, sudden losses, strange dreams, simply revisit the 4 points of your home and renew the act. The salt does not need to be replaced every day, its power lies in your awareness. The moment your energy aligns with faith again, the protection reignites. Tonight, rest knowing your threshold is guarded, your dreams are protected, your vision is clear, and your provision is sealed. The covenant has been activated. You have stepped into the law of preservation, the rhythm of prosperity, and the atmosphere of peace. When dawn breaks after such an act of faith, the air itself seems to shift. The silence feels alive, as if the unseen has listened and responded. This is how spiritual alignment manifests, not through sudden fireworks, but through subtle, undeniable peace. The same salt you placed in stillness has now become a witness between you and the divine, a living symbol that your home belongs to God, that your atmosphere vibrates with divine order. From this day forward, walk with awareness. The energy in your home mirrors the energy in your heart. Keep your thoughts high, your words clean, and your gratitude constant. Remember, salt preserves, but bitterness dissolves it. If you allow anger, gossip, or fear to linger, you weaken the vibration you just established. But if you fill your space with thanksgiving, laughter, and prayer, the frequency of protection grows stronger. Angels remain stationed where gratitude lives. You might notice the smallest things beginning to change, old conflicts softening, relationships healing, opportunities reappearing. These are micro-miracles, subtle confirmations that the law of faith is active. The salt's energy field harmonizes with your intention, and that harmony spills into every part of your life. Money begins to flow where it once got stuck. Inspiration returns. Even your sleep becomes sweeter. For prosperity is not only measured in wealth but in serenity. Some will not understand this mystery. They will call it superstition because they cannot see the layers of energy that surround every home. But those who have experienced divine preservation know, God hides power in simplicity. The greatest miracles are often disguised in small acts. You are living proof of that truth now. Every step you took last night was a silent sermon, a testimony that faith without fear creates transformation. Do not keep this wisdom to yourself. Share it with others who live under spiritual oppression, those who cry at night wondering why doors refuse to open. Teach them the secret of obedience and awareness. Not everyone will believe, but those whose spirits are ready will awaken to freedom. Sometimes the miracle is not just in what changes for you, but in what your testimony awakens in others. Before you step out today, pause for a moment at your door. Touch the space where you placed the salt and whisper, "This home is sealed in light." Feel the peace radiate from that threshold. Then go forth boldly, not as one waiting for blessing, but as one who already carries it. Wherever your feet go, the same protection follows. The covenant of salt travels with awareness. Once your spirit has aligned with this principle, your environment continues to respond, not only at home but everywhere you go. What you did last night has expanded beyond walls, it has become a spiritual frequency surrounding your life. Walk in that confidence. As days pass, you will notice something extraordinary, a new rhythm unfolding in your life. The atmosphere that once carried tension now hums with peace. The constant sense of delay that haunted your plans begins to dissolve. Even people who approach you will sense a change, they will feel lighter around you, drawn to your calmness, your silent authority. This is the fruit of spiritual alignment. What you did with salt was not just an act of protection, it was a recalibration of energy, a signal to the universe that your life is now harmonized with divine order. Salt speaks a language that every realm understands. In the physical, it cleanses and preserves, in the spiritual, it seals and sanctifies. In the energetic field, it balances and neutralizes. And when combined with conscious declaration, it rewrites frequency. Your home now vibrates in a higher octave, one that repels confusion, envy, and fear. Where poverty once whispered, peace now sings. Where monitoring spirits once lurked, angels now stand watch. But know this, divine maintenance is an ongoing practice. Just as you clean your home regularly, so must you refresh your spiritual atmosphere. Every 7 days, revisit your 4 points, doorway, bedroom, windows, kitchen, and offer gratitude. You don't need to repeat the full ritual each time, even a small pinch of salt and a whisper of blessing will renew the energy. Consistency anchors faith. Each act of gratitude recharges the vibration of prosperity. The longer you maintain this frequency, the more your outer world aligns. You'll find that your finances become stable, creativity flows with ease, and divine coincidences multiply. New opportunities will appear without effort. The universe begins to move in sync with your faith, because your home has become a generator of divine current. Remember also to keep your inner world pure. The heart is the ultimate altar. If resentment, jealousy, or fear dwell there, no ritual can remain strong for long. But when the heart is grateful and forgiving, the salt continues to speak. It becomes more than a substance, it becomes an ambassador of your spirit. So when you pass your doorway each day, smile and whisper a brief blessing. When you cook, stir love into your meals. When you open your windows, let sunlight and gratitude flow together. When you lie down at night, breathe in peace and exhale faith. These small, mindful acts feed the energy of what you began. The salt simply magnifies what already exists in your spirit. This is the mystery. The power of salt is not in its mineral body, but in the consciousness that awakens when you use it. It becomes a bridge between the seen and unseen, an instrument of harmony that teaches you to live deliberately, to act with intention, and to speak with authority. And now, as this sacred teaching comes to its close, understand that the true miracle was never the salt itself, it was you. The power flowed through your faith, your voice, your decision to act when so many remain passive. The salt simply answered to what your spirit declared. Every grain became a soldier carrying your intention into realms unseen, enforcing the will of light over darkness. You have not just performed a ritual, you have entered a new covenant of awareness, one where every act, even the smallest, becomes a seed of divine transformation. From this day forward, move through your home as one who carries authority. You are not a victim of unseen forces, you are a custodian of sacred energy. Where your feet tread, peace must remain. Where your hands work, prosperity must flow. Where your words are spoken, blessings must manifest. The law of salt will continue to echo your faith long after the grains have dissolved. And when new challenges arise, when fear tries to whisper, when old patterns attempt to return, remember this night. Remember the stillness when you prayed. Remember the light that filled your home. Stand firm in that memory and declare, I am sealed in divine power. My household is a fortress of light. Poverty, confusion, and witchcraft have no authority here. My destiny is preserved, my path is clear, my life is abundant. Then breathe deeply and smile, for you will feel heaven's confirmation once again. The same presence that stood guard last night will continue to walk beside you. Angels do not forget the homes marked by obedience. The covenant remains. And as testimonies begin to unfold, sudden breakthroughs, unexpected favor, relationships healed, doors opening, do not keep them to yourself. Speak them aloud, for every testimony multiplies light. When others hear your story, their faith awakens. They, too, learn that the simplest acts, a grain of salt, a spoken word, a moment of faith, can tear down walls that generations could not. You have become a living example of divine principle, faith expressed through action. Never again see your surroundings as ordinary. Every wall in your home now hums with prayer. Every breath you take now vibrates with protection. You live under a covenant that cannot be broken, because it was forged not in superstition, but in conscious faith and divine truth. So tonight, sleep in peace. Walk tomorrow with boldness. And each new day, carry the quiet knowing that your house is filled with the energy of heaven. Poverty cannot find you. Witches cannot touch you. Monitoring eyes cannot see you. Because the covenant of salt, eternal, luminous, and pure, has spoken your protection into being. And as you go forth, may every step you take echo this truth: you are covered, you are chosen, and you are free.